Setting up a Performance Max campaign for lead gen or just for a business where you're not e-commerce, meaning you're not planning to use a merchant center feed as part of your PMax campaign. We're going to create a new campaign without guidance and choose Performance Max. Here you may want to adjust the goals that count as a conversion for you. So just for example, let's say you have a book a demo one and sign up for a newsletter one. You can just come over here if you want to remove one of those goals and just have one left, or you can add a goal that hasn't shown up here. Maybe this is what we want to add, for example. For where people should go, you can put the final URL here, but there's actually a place later where you'll put it. So we're just going to ignore that from now, and we're going to call this Performance Max draft for IGA inside Google Ads. Okay, so first things first, it's going to ask us about our bid strategy. So in Performance Max, you must use conversion-based bidding. You can't do like manual CPC or max clicks. You can focus on conversions or on conversion value. And of course, you have the option to set a target with each of those if you like. If in doubt, I recommend starting with just max conversions, okay? Do not set a target unless you actually know what that target should be and what results PMax can achieve for you. For more on bid strategies, you're going to want to go to the lesson about bid strategies. This customer acquisition part, I don't recommend using. Basically, it's a way to adjust your conversion value so that Google goes out and focuses more on new rather than existing customers. For the vast majority of businesses, this won't make a big difference in terms of who it actually goes after, but it can really mess with your conversion tracking. So unless there's like a specific reason you need to do this, I just recommend keeping that box unchecked. Now we're going to go, into the campaign settings. So you can choose your location targeting here. Note that in Performance Max, there's no option to choose between presence or interest. Everything is based on presence or interest. And so that can get really challenging for your campaign because even though you've chosen country, United States, for example, or you can go in and choose a city or go to advanced search and choose a radius around your location, whatever it might be, this Performance Max ad could also show to people who are interested in that location. So for example, when Performance Max first came out a couple of years ago, I had a campaign working for a jobs website. It was jobs that were located in Ontario. We were only targeting Ontario, but after some time, we saw that a ton of our ads were showing in India because there were people in India who were looking for jobs in Ontario. And that was not something we wanted to target because the people who were kind of filling out all this stuff from India didn't have the qualifications to do these jobs in Ontario. This was in a highly skilled field where you needed accreditation from the local Ontario government. It just was not making sense, but it worked because our only conversion action set up was just people fill out the form, and a whole bunch of people in India were filling out the form, and that traffic was way cheaper than getting that traffic in Ontario. And by the way, when we looked at the Performance Max campaign itself, it just said, yep, Ontario, that's where the ads are showing. It was by looking in Google Analytics at the traffic coming from PMax that we saw how much of it was actually coming from India. So I say that as a cautionary tale here. Something that you'll hear me talk about again and again and again for lead gen is offline conversion tracking, OCT, which is also known as offline conversion import, OCI. You can learn more about that in the conversion tracking lesson. And that's going to be really important for your lead gen campaign to work. If you do not have some kind of offline conversion import happening, you're probably not going to want to run Performance Max for lead gen purposes. Okay, off the soapbox, back into setting up the campaign. Languages, they are your options, automatically created assets. So this is optional. Checking the box for text assets just means, do you give Google permission to take text from your landing page, from other ads in the account, to create new assets for you? So this is neither good nor bad. It's just something you might need to be a bit cautious of. I generally don't like to check this box because what I've seen happen is, for example, there might be a page on your website where candidates can apply for jobs. And so suddenly you'll have this text asset that's like, apply for a job, when that's not what you want to advertise for. You want to advertise people actually buying your services. If you do have it, there's also this option for final URL. This used to be called final URL expansion. And look, they've even taken out the word expansion from here. But basically what that means, if you have this final URL box checked, is that you give Google Ads permission not just to advertise to send people to whatever final URL you choose when you create your ad, but to any page of your website that it thinks is most likely to achieve your goals. Conversion. So again, this is neither good nor bad. You just need to think through the implications of this. Like, let's say that when someone completes the booking system to book a meeting with you, that a page loads. It's like, thank you for booking your meeting. We look forward to seeing you soon. And that page loading is a conversion. What I've seen happen more than once is Performance Max would be like, hey, this thank you page, whenever I land there, I get a conversion. Let me just send people straight to that thank you page. Right? And people think, oh, Performance Max doesn't work well. Well, no, that's actually Performance Max working really well, doing exactly what it's designed to do, figuring out how to get you as many conversions as cheaply as possible. So it's just something to be cautious of. So again, find a URL. I'm not going to say always use it or always don't use it. If you are using it, you may want to add some exclusions. For example, excluding your blog, excluding your contact page, or maybe you want your contact page, excluding a thank you page if applicable, things like that. I'll just keep those checked for now in case in future demonstrations I want to use them. But most businesses I'd work with, I would say uncheck those two boxes. Then under more settings, if there's a certain ad schedule, you can do it there. Brand lists. So this is where if you don't want to advertise when people are searching for your brand,